You have the desire, you've made the intention to blossom to who you are, to truly align to your being, to be spiritual, to be on your path. Whatever words you want to wrap around it, here it is, and I'm here to give you 5 steps to clean your vibration. Now, before we get started, I want to say that it doesn't have to be 5 steps. You're creating this, you've created this video, you've created these steps, you've created me. There are no rules. I just want to preface this by saying that it could be whatever you want. Have a good time. Make this fun. Make this fun. It's a game. It's a game that you're always winning. You're always winning this game. Because what's the worst that could happen? You go back to where you started playing the game, go back to step 1 and start over. Who cares? There's no beginning, there's no end. It's just a fun game. And to open this treasure box and explore what all of this is, there's no higher goal in life. There's nothing better than tasting the deliciousness of who you are and riding this wave. So let's get started with 5 things that could clean your vibration. So tip number 1 is to remind yourself, become aware, remember. Remind yourself first thing in the morning if possible. Set your alarm 15 minutes early if you need to, and just lay there and become awake, become aware. Just breathe and remind yourself that today you're going to find moments to align back to who you are. Clear the slate. Just finding that clarity. So in the morning, if you can just stay in that vibration as long as possible, just gently tell yourself it's going to be an amazing day. You're going to stay aware that the only effort you're making today is an effortless allowing of your vibration to cleanse. So the first step is just remind yourself, just remember, keep tabs on yourself, check in with yourself during the day, that here's where I am in the present moment, and I have an intention to awaken. Step number 2, you can do this as soon as you awaken. It's a great time to do it, or you can do it throughout the day. It anchors you. It's a good way to stay aligned, to remember to do that. It's a powerful way to remind yourself to align, and that is to be grateful. I know it's been said a million times by a million law of attraction teachers, but it's because it's so powerful. Just be grateful and do it all day long. It puts you in a positive state, a higher vibration. It really makes you feel that your intentions are clear. I used to do this at the beginning. I would come up with just a list of 10 things. I would say my parents, my child, I'm grateful for the food I eat, the work I do, the clothes I wear. I would be thankful for who I am, the fact that I'm awakening or blossoming, or the highway system, the people around me, the clouds, anything, and you will feel so good doing this. It'll just make you peppy. It'll cheer you up. You'll feel that after you really come up with that gratitude, you'll feel that you live in a wonderful place. It just feels so good to enjoy the lusciousness and the blissfulness of what's around you. I'm telling you, gratitude and thankfulness for everything around you, in and out, is so powerful. And that alone can change what's manifesting around you. So tip number 2 is just gratitude. Be grateful. A constant prayer of thank you for everything. Tip number 3. Cannot stress this one enough. Breathe. What a wonderful way to remind yourself to stay aligned to who you are is to breathe. Feel it, just feel it enter you. The air around you is free. And there's a reason you're breathing it. It lights up your cells, oxygenates your blood, your brain. It centers you, it grounds you. Breathe. So many of us are so shallow in our breath, and that makes a shallow mind. So stay aligned, breathe. Along with gratitude, the prayer of gratitude and the remembering to awaken as much as possible, number 3 is to breathe. God put the breath into man and he became alive. So just breathe. Remember to breathe. Your breath can be calming. Your breath can center you and calm you. Your breath can invigorate you and fill you full of energy. The breath can make you powerful. The breath can do whatever you want. You're God. Breathe how you want. No breathing system. No, I have to do this breath and hold this and do that. That's possible. You can do whatever you want. They're your rules. It just feels so good. And sometimes if you haven't gotten used to how to breathe again because you've been lost for so long breathing shallow breaths, at first it may make you lightheaded, or it may just seem unnatural to breathe. As weird as that sounds, it may seem unnatural to breathe. But the more you practice deep breaths, the more calming and centered and aligned you'll feel. Just breathing. Do it. Tip number 4. This one drastically changed my life. I was bedridden for a few months, and I was consuming media at probably an average rate, and I decided to replace a lot of that screen time with watching videos from YouTube that were spiritually focused. About law of attraction and manifesting and how to open up, because I was in kind of a dark place. I was healing, and it was very powerful. I mean, some of these videos blew my mind, and I don't have to go on or tell you how stuck people are to screens, to movies, to TV. We see it. We know what's up. I mean, right now you're looking at a screen. I highly, highly, highly recommend that mindless, zombie, numb scrolling of social media. Just, that could be a great reminder to align, take some time to breathe. And if you feel addicted, like many of us are, to screen time, just do something simple. Switch over to a YouTube video about about alignment, about God, about spirituality. If we could just get people who are in our modern culture kind of hooked to their devices, if we could just inundate or flood it with loving each other and awakening and spiritual things, the revolution could really advance very quickly. I believe that's what is happening right now. I truly believe in my heart that humanity is opening up. So just put down the screens for a while, you know, go take a walk, go make some tea, get back to who you are in the present moment. But like I said, if you just want to wean yourself off of that addiction, watch some YouTube videos, you know, watch a movie, watch The Secret. As it's been said many, many times, that documentary, The Secret, was very powerful to me, and I would say most spiritual teachers or people who are awakening. It was a very powerful movie to watch when first traversing this path. and there's a lot of places to go from there. Also, What the Bleep Do We Know was very enlightening. So those two documentaries, The Secret and What the Bleep Do We Know, I always recommend those people as a good starting place. And a lot of YouTube videos. Esther Hicks, huge. There's a guy named Muji. He's Jamaican. He's a very, very powerful teacher. Teaches the awareness of just being. So at first, just the mindless, numb scrolling, just replace that. That's all you got to do. And pretty soon that becomes addictive. These videos can become very addictive, but they'll blow your mind, they'll open your heart, and it's like the modern guru, the modern teacher coming to you, and they're all over the place. So just open yourself up to that. Put the screens down. Have some time for you and your alignments. Tip number 5, carve out time in your day, carve out that space in your life for aligning, for saying, okay, this is important to me. This is something I wish to do. You're telling the universe, you're telling yourself, you're saying that the God within me is vital to me. So it may seem like work at first for some of you to carve out that time every day, but it's kind of like eating a salad or exercising if you haven't done either in a while. A salad doesn't sound like the go-to snack food, but once you start eating it, you're like, wow, this is a really good salad. Or like exercising, you know, you gotta exercise, but then once you start and you get in the groove, it can become addictive. And you'll see results after X amount of time, and you'll be like, wow, I want to get out there and exercise. It becomes a habit. It becomes, it pulls you. So I suggest to carve out that time, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just the smallest amount you need that just feels good. The trick here is it feels good. So usually I started off by doing this before I went to bed. I would turn off the screens, the devices, and just say, okay, I'm gonna sit in this chair. It doesn't have to be the lotus position. It doesn't have to be your hands folded like this or playing meditative music. You can do all those things. Those are great. Do whatever the hell you want. But what I'm saying is there are no rules, just carve out the time. 5 minutes of sitting there. No intention, no pressure. Just breathe and settle into yourself. Have a million thoughts. Have a billion thoughts if you want. Just take those 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, half an hour to be in that time. And that time, if you do it every night and keep at it, it will grow. It'll grow into a practice. It'll grow into something. You'll eventually not want to think during that time because it feels so good just to sit there. And doing this before bed is a great time because it lets you flow into sleep after that. You know, breathe and let yourself go. Over time, that will grow into your time. You'll be addicted to it. You won't be able to wait to get to that time. It'll be so exciting, and it becomes invigorating, and magical things happen in that space. It truly becomes addictive. You could do this anytime during the day. When you wake up, take the 5 or 10 minutes. If you're a morning person, do it in the middle of your day. Do it on your lunch break. Be in the present moment. Have no thought. Realign. Maybe make your list of things to be grateful for. When you remind yourself, that is a wonderful time to be in that space. If you want to name that space your meditation time, your practice, your alignments, whatever you want to do, they're your rules, your God. So there you have it, my friends. 5 tips on cleaning your vibration. There are many more, and you will figure out a lot more. You'll figure this out. Just your intention is going to lead you down little magical trails of bliss. Simply because you want it, because you're worthy, because you put out there into the universe and in here in the universe that it is your intention. Like I said, have fun. It's a game. It is frolicking through the meadow. It's blissful. It's wonderful. It sounds all airy-fairy, but once you set upon the yellow brick road, you won't want to turn back. You'll see it. You'll see it. So thank you. I love you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for much, much more. I love you. Mwah.